Hey y'all, she's going to be joining us today. I think I've named her before, but I don't remember her name anymore because I'm never good with names. But hey girl. Hello Sagittarius, how are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca and I'm going to be doing your weekly reading. So when it comes to my weekly readings, I always like to use examples. So that's why I always like to ask you guys to rely on your intuition, because I might be using a situation in terms of love, but it may be pertaining to work or a friendship or what have you, right? Put it in perspective. I'm just a man reading some tarot cards. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I'm not going to take it personally. It's not personal, right? It's just some tarot cards. If this reading is of resonance to you, though, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know what card gave you your aha moment. And if this reading does give you a sense of direction at all, Sagittarius, I would love for you to give me a like and subscribe, because it does help out my channel a lot, and I really am appreciative when you guys take the time to do that for me. Your first couple of rows, though, I'm going to be doing 3 rows. Your first couple of rows are just like, your first row is going to be the energies that you're currently dealing with, and maybe some reminiscent of your past. Your second row is going to be the energies to come. You may be experiencing some of those energies already. And then your last row is going to be what it is that you need to be working on for this week, because I can tell you the blessings to come and I can tell you what is coming, but if you don't know how to get there, you don't know what to work on or how to avoid something, then it serves no purpose, right? So let's just jump into this reading. I'm going to pull clarifiers as I see necessary. Now, you guys, for your first row, we have the World card, Archangel Michael, 4 of Fire, and then 9 of Air. Now, it's interesting because, okay, first let me talk about the World card. Number 21, right, equaling to 3, so write that down, Sagittarius. The World card talks about a perspective change, right? A change in perspective. The 4 of Fire, this is usually a pretty good card in terms of just like marriage or overall just like another good card. And then we have the 9 of Air, which kind of just changes the dynamic of this reading entirely, almost. Because the 9 of Air talks about expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, and sleepless nights. So I feel drawn to use tarot cards keep on popping up for you guys as well. A lot more than normal. So let's see how this dynamic of this first row is, so I can get a better understanding. I don't know if that helped me any. So let's jump into this. I pulled the 5 of Swords, the 9 of Discs, the King of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands as clarifiers. We have the 5 of Swords with this World card, Archangel Michael. So it's talking about the change of perspective. I feel it's like a change in perspective in terms of who you are around, who you surround yourself with, almost. It's almost like something either happened or maybe just like a shift in terms of just you woke up one day and you kind of realized it was just that you needed to do something different. We have the 9 of Discs as well, pulled with the 4 of Fire. And the 9 of Discs is paired kind of with the King of Wands and the 6 of Wands, in the sense of, I feel as like this is like a perspective, Sagittarius, that changes. And it's like you start changing the people that you're around. You start changing the people that you surround yourself around, almost. You start feeling, but it's like through this thing of where you start adjusting the people that you surround yourself with, you start feeling more empowered, but there's still like this sleepless nights thing here. This sleepless nights thing is kind of like a, let me tell you how, like, where my brain is going with this right now, Sagittarius, and maybe you can help me out in deciphering this message. How I'm seeing with this 5 of Swords and this World card, it's like a change in perspective in terms of like your circle, like your 5 closest people. You're just like, do I want it? Like, maybe you're starting to consider like having a greater reach, or like starting to surround yourself with more different people rather than some of the same people. Does that make sense? This King of Wands paired with the 4 of Fire, 6 of Wands, and the 9 of Discs, this is kind of like a process. It's like through welcoming in other people, or through this changed perspective, you start coming into power more. You start, or maybe not even you're coming into your own power more. You're just getting a better sense of the self, almost. Through like involving yourself with different energies that you're not used to, or different people that you're not used to. The 6 of Wands, it's almost like there used to be like someone in your life before, and they still may be around, but I feel like they're kind of connected to this 5 of Swords, where it's like someone was almost like limiting a connection at one point, or limiting you from going out, or feeling like you could spread your wings and just like explore the world around you and explore different types of people. It felt like you always were kind of like in this bubble in a sense, maybe for some type of thing. This could be social, this could be work, right? And then with this Nine of Air, this is kind of what throws me off in the sense of where it's like this Two of Wands and this Nine of Air. It's like because these two piles talk about the release of people, maybe not the release, but just you starting to involve yourself with other energies more, investing your time in other energies more that you weren't used to doing. But with this Two of Wands paired with this Nine of Air, this is almost like a sense of like you're like looking out in the distance for like a missed opportunity, or like something that like went by you at one point. You know how I was just talking about how it felt like some type of energy from this Six of Wands was paired with this Five of Swords, where like something was limiting you or stopping you from taking up on opportunities or stopping you from connecting with people, like whatever it is. It's almost like now that you're in this new space, this new perspective, you're kind of looking back on things. You're just like, wow, I missed this opportunity. Wow, I missed like whatever your story is. It's like you're looking out in the distance. It's like, dang, like I really wish I grabbed up at that opportunity when it first presented itself, however long ago. Almost, it's almost just like a self-reflective thing. But I think it's beautiful in the sense of where you can now appreciate where it is that you need to improve, and it makes you more aware for the future. But it is the sense of where like disappointment, in a sense, disappointment in either yourself or disappointment in the situation. I just feel disappointment. Let's get into your second row though. Your second row, we have Two of Swords, Two of Cups, and the Fool card in reverse. This is again where it's throwing me off entirely, because it seems as if where it's like this entire message, it comes like it builds up to be one thing, and then for your last card, it just throws it for a completely different loop. And I'm trying to understand what's going on with you. See, okay, this is where it's coming in at. I feel like this is the storyline that's playing out. We have the Two of Fire, a lot of twos cards. This is kind of giving me the emphasis of where it's like definitely involving some other, like one other person. It almost is like you are looking out in the distance to someone that you like didn't get to connect to before. Or, and you know, when it says like two, like a party of two, it's like this party could not even be human. It doesn't have to be human. It could just be like a job opportunity. As I said before, it could be where you had a chance to move, or, you know, just you're thinking about something in specific where it's just very intimate almost. And where it's like this Two of Swords comes in where it's like you're guarded. And I feel like that was like the energy, partially like the energy, what stopped you from maybe like grabbing up at this opportunity that you're now looking at the distance from. With this Two of Fire coming in, it's letting me, it kind of tells me where it's like you were guarded before because maybe like an unsureness of yourself or an insecurity of yourself. So maybe if we were going to go with the analogy, you got like a job offer before, maybe like this person I spoke of is like your inner saboteur. Maybe this is like a shift in your mindset, whereas like before your brain was like, or not your brain, like you were just insecure maybe, or you're overthinking stuff too much, or, you know, you're just overanalyzing things, and maybe you just didn't feel like you're up for the challenge, or you weren't ready in some sense of the word. We have Two of Air coming in, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there isn't a problem, as a clarifier for the Two of Cups. So this is like turning out to be such a sad message in the sense of whereas like, since the Two of Cups speaks of an individual, it's really kind of telling me a story where it's like you didn't want to make a decision with somebody to like work on something, or to communicate, or to just something. It's like a situation where it's just like putting someone on like a back burner, putting something on the back burner, even though you knew it was burning. You're just kind of like, well, maybe if I just put it back there and I pretend it doesn't exist, it'll just figure itself out, almost, right? This Fool card being reversed, paired with the Page of Cups as a clarifier, as well as the Six of Water. This is telling me such a sad story, Sagittarius. Let me tell you what I'm getting from this. It's like you're feeling this is like a regret card. When it's like inverted like that, there's like regret. There's like a regret because the Fool represents taking a leap of faith on something. I love the Fool card because it is my favorite card in the deck, where it's like you just go at the opportunity. That's why I love the Fool. You kind of like caution to the wind. You see this opportunity, you just go at it. So it's almost like now you're just experiencing regret because it's inverted. With it's the Page of Cups, the pages represents like a beginning of like a, just like a new beginning. And when it's the cups, it's like some type of emotional connection. So this could be like the one that got away energy, almost. Kind of. And I say this because the Six of Water like builds this case more, because it says memories from your history or childhood, romanticizing the past. So yeah, this is like, it's very much so an energy of where it's like you missed out on an opportunity because either like your mental or something, your insecurity, like whatever stopped you from grabbing up at an opportunity or connecting with an individual. You're now that you have like this change in perspective, you're just like, well, wait a minute. It's like you're now kind of realizing like how good of an opportunity something was, and it's just kind of like it doesn't seem like you're going after it, right? It's like these cards doesn't seem like you're going after it anymore. It's like you kind of given up, but you're just kind of like reflecting on something. You're like reflecting and just being like, dang, if only things were different, if only I handled things differently, if only you handled things, like it's one of those things where it's just like if only, if. It makes me sad though. Like, I'm sorry, Sagittarius. I don't mean to be that kind of, to have this kind of reading. The energy is gaining momentum. I pulled the waxing moon. So maybe this has potential. This connection has potential. Okay, yeah. This has potential. If you're looking to have like this forward movement towards this missed opportunity from before in your past, this is kind of telling me if you're willing to put in the work with these two moon cards. So this is like a hopeful kind of sense, because the new moon in Sagittarius, your new moon. New moons represents new beginnings. So it's like you have to kind of start this situation from anew again. You kind of can't pretend that it didn't happen, sort of thing. You kind of can't be like, you know, you can't just be like, try to pick up where you left off. With the hello? I cannot speak. The waxing moon saying the energy is gaining momentum. I feel like it's like one of those things, I feel it has potential still. And if you really want to grab back up on this opportunity again, I do kind of feel like you could. I don't really get like a one way or another if it's a bad choice or not, but I do feel as if it's you're going to have to definitely put in the work for it. So at that point, then it leads to the question of, is this individual or is this work situation, whatever your story is this thing that you are having sleepless nights over or like overthinking worth the work that you would have to put in to reconnect with this, or to like get this opportunity to come back to you. So now I'm going on your last row. I pulled the clarifiers already. I pulled the King of Cups for you, the Two of Discs, and the Seven of Wands inverted. This is the row of what it is that you need to be working on this week. And I pulled the Ace of Swords, the Hermit card, the Ace of Swords is inverted, and the Empress inverted as well. So this is interesting because it's like this row is kind of telling me a message of like, you know, this is what you should be working on, like what we would call like your biggest mistake, like the mistakes you would have if you didn't work on that sort of thing, right? So when you have the King of Cups is like someone, I always say, someone that's like, it's very much so the energy of, I shouldn't have to tell you I love you because my actions, or you should just know it, right? This is kind of like the unspoken. And maybe this is kind of like this, it was under in your middle row, this is like the Two of Swords. So maybe you were guarded before and you didn't want to express your emotions. You were afraid of being vulnerable. I pulled the Hermit card and I feel as if, as a clarifier, so it's almost as if like you kind of reclused and like you're still reclusing perhaps because you're just feeling sorry about the situation for yourself, or just like, it just like sucks, right? And so when this dynamic, it's kind of telling me where it's like, if you want the situation to come back, or this opportunity to come back, Sagittarius, I really feel like you have to bear it all. The Ace of Swords as the clarifier for the Two of Discs. Again, more twos. I really do feel like this is about like a specific individual, or like some specific, like it's pertaining to one specific type of energy, whether it's like a job, and like just that, you get it. I feel like it's the Two of Discs talk about foundational energy. The mistake that you would have with this, it seems, with the Ace of Swords being inverted, is this is like your mistake in terms of, I keep on saying your mistake. I don't know why I'm saying mistake. This is more so like the energy of someone that, you know, this kind of tells me in terms of like opportunity, missed opportunity. Not like missed opportunity in terms of connecting with them, but it's like a missed opportunity in terms of what would come from this connection, what would come from you taking up on that job opportunity, what would come from you connecting with this individual, what bigger thing comes from that, right? So it really, this last row seems more geared toward, like, it seems as if like it's geared towards, if you like, your biggest like the worst thing that you can do for yourself this week is to not bear it all and to like try to like catch up for a moment. Not catch up for a moment, but like catch up to this thing that you're looking out at longingly and just being like, I wish I didn't miss that opportunity. Stop looking in the past with it. Stop romanticizing the past about it. If you truly want it again, you're going to have to not be a hermit about it, not be closed off, not be guarded, and go after it. If you want this opportunity, go after it. I feel it's like this pile comes in the sense of where it's just like letting you know, spirit's letting you know, it's like you kind of closed a door where they opened it for you. It would have been a really good opportunity in some sense. 7 of Wands with the Empress card inverted. Both of them upside down, but I'm going to hold them upright for you so you can actually look at it. This is like a sense of this is kind of telling me this is like you taking things personally. So let's entertain like the converse, like if, like, let's use an example of, if this is like a person, right? If you missed an opportunity with a person, this would be like this is the kind of energy where it's like, if a conversation does happen, right, of like, it's almost as if like the biggest mistake that you could do or disservice that you could do for yourself is to take things personally. You know, this is like an energy where it's like you want to lash out. You know, so no, not saying that you want to lash out, Sagittarius, but it's like the worst thing you can do is lash out through like an honest conversation almost. Or, you know, if you got to this opportunity, if you caught back up, you know, and then you realize it's too late, the worst thing you can do is taking it personally and allow that to really beat you up and like really like take you off your path for a while and just to really demotivate you. That's where I feel like this could really demotivate you if you internalize it too much instead of just using it as a learning lesson if it's too late for you to recover from it. But that's the reading I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this was helpful in some type of way. I'm sorry it's not a happier message, but I feel like this reading is like, remember, the future's never solid, so like you can really change this, and how these cards are panning out where it seems as if like they're pushing you to like fight for this almost. I feel like it has potential. I feel like it does. But I love you so much, Sagittarius. I'm going to close this off. Bye.